Okay, go.
The Median talks about end to delays, hassles of nuclear production. This for that guts and government. Government budgets additional funds for reconstruction. What's that? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to review the papers on the stands which are out today for us to read. We are going to immediately start this session today on CAM1 television with the Guardian Post, which is out today and talks about government slashing fuel mission allowances by over 80 billion francs CFA in a bid to readjust state budgets. That is what the Guardian Post headlines today with on its paper. CAMTEL engages members of parliament to review and reinforce digital legal framework. Another must-read story today on the Guardian Post on page 3 to be much more precise. The editorial part of the paper talks about when members of parliament interrogate justice minister. You can read that story today on page 4 of the Guardian Post. Also, the Guardian Post talks about the confab conference in Yaoundé as the P&T, as Post and Telecommunications Minister, drums need for national artificial intelligence roadmap. You can read all of these stories today on the Guardian Post. The Median is also out today, and headlines with the delays, end to the delays and hassles in the production of ID cards in Cameroon towards modernization, infrastructure, and expansion. All of this could be read today on the Median paper, which is also out as we speak. Limbe vaunts his victory over Atanganji, that's leadership of the PCRN political party. You can read all of this today on the Median paper, which is out today. Also, amendments to the 2024 state budget. Biya imposes further cuts in government spending. All of these stories could be read today on the Median paper, which is out as we speak. Municipal updates is also out today, and the headlines with the government's budgets, additional 5 billion francs CFA for reconstruction development in the far north, northwest, and southwest regions, respectively. That is where this money has been allocated for this particular reconstructions of these particular regions. Bilingualism Commission salutes use of official language at Simalen Airport in Yaoundé. You can read this story today on municipal updates. Also, Boisson du Cameroon plants trees to combat desertification. All of these stories could be read today on the municipal updates, which is out on the stands today. The French papers are also out in their numbers today, and we always translate them for you here on the CAM1 television. Cameroon Tribune is out today. It says, while waiting on the Senate, the National Assembly is currently examining the proposed law on the illegal exploitation of wood in Cameroon, which is rapidly causing deforestation. It also talks of BEAC to embrace a new system concerning transactions with local currency. The Bank of Central African States will in no distant future integrate the pay a role on the business of other business transactions with local currency. That is what the paper has in store today for us, and says the innovation is expected to greatly help business people who are forced to convert the local currency to foreign exchange to be able to do anything. You can read this story today in its entirety on page 12 and 13 of the paper. Afrique Performance headlines with the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development and the Sea Corporation affair. According to Afrique Performance, Minister Ketcha Kutes has been criticized by some media critics on the weekender program called Canal Press. You can read this story today on Afrique Performance. La Confrère de la Martinique is out today. La Confrère de la Martinique is out today and says Samuel Eto'o, the president of FECAFOOT, is trying to outplay a satanic war or plan waged against him. According to La Confrère de la Martinique, Samuel Eto'o's detractors are trying to make him unpopular following allegations of match fixing and corruption levied against him. You can read the story today on La Confrère de la Martinique. My hospital is out today and says the Baptist Hospital of Etukebe in Yaoundé preaches by example with quality services. Also, the paper profiles the neurosurgeon by the name of Professor Vince De Paul Gentry. All of these stories could be read on my hospital paper, which is on the stands as we speak. Eco Santé is out today. It says Joseph Mbeng becomes the first vice president of the International Federation of Scientific Journalists in Cameroon, or in the world rather. You can read these stories today. Integration is also out today. Integration applauds the evolution of digitalization in Cameroon and says Cameroonians merit this new technology in the production process of national identity cards. You can read these stories today on Integration, which is out as we speak. The Drapeau paper is out today. Headlines with yet another accident at the Falaise Hill in Chang, that is in the west region of Cameroon. This time, 5 deaths and 25 wounded have been recorded. Another tragic day for Cameroonians. L'Info show is out today. Headlines with the Confederation of African Football's disciplinary board, which is yet to pronounce its verdict against the president of the Cameroon Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o, who has been accused of match fixing and corruption. All of these stories could be read today on L'Info show. Limbe Sahel is out today. Report on yet another Boko Haram attack in Turu, a locality in the far north region of the country, and says 3 people have been killed and 2 gravely wounded as a result of this latest attack. Also, 2 children were kidnapped during the raid. All of this could be read today on Limbe Sahel, which is out as we speak. La Voix des Jeunes is also out today. Talks about a crisis within the PCRN political party, as Honorable Cabral Libby has tabled a complaint against 81-year-old political figure Robert Kona. You can read the story today on La Voix des Jeunes. L'Économique Quotidien is out today and says the Bank of Central African States, BEAC, is seeking ways to reconstruct part of the national oil refinery, Sonora. According to L'Économique Quotidien, the failure to reconstruct the part that burned some years ago has had a negative impact on the entire CEMAC zone. You can read this story today on L'Économique Quotidien. Défense d'Afrique is out and says there is a tug of war between colleagues at the governor's office in the north region of the country. Violence, death threats, and of course aggressions are said to be at the center of it all. Also, Défense d'Afrique says the population of Betari denounces the brigade commander who is accused of corruption, torture, extortion rather, and promoting insecurity in that part of the country. Information is out today and headlines with the accident which occurred yesterday, June 25th, at the Falaise Hill in Chang, in the west region of the country. An accident which involved a Mondial Express bus transporting 30 people from Bamenda to the southwest region of the country. According to Information, 6 people died while 24 are gravely wounded. That is what Information has in store today for us. Lamissive questions the traffic of influence at the presidency and says the close collaborators of the head of state give instructions attributing it to high instructions given from the president. According to Lamissive paper, this phenomenon has become a regular routine. You can read the story today on Lamissive, which is also on the papers, on the stands as we speak. La Lettre de la Bourse is out the headlines with public finance problems and says Cameroon might further get indebted. This was disclosed by the Director General of the Autonomous Sinking Fund, Adolphe Noah Ndongo. The Source paper is also out today and says Dr. Manauda Malashi, Minister of Public Health, has surprised Cameroonians as he is being rated with 95% in regard to public function. According to the source, it is uncommon for the son of a pastor to blend in so well as top government official in a political milieu. You can read the story today on the Source paper, which is out as we speak. Premier Air is out today, headlines with the Martinez Nzogo affair, and says Captain Ntie Yannick replaces Ondua Onana Laurent at the military tribunal on the Martinez Nzogo affair. La Voix is out today, focuses on the presidential ordinance signed on June 20th and says consumers associations such as Fukako and Koch have called on the parliamentarians to ratify the ordinance due to the price hike of 2,800 francs to 10,000 francs CFA in the creation and obtention of national identity cards in Cameroon. You can read all of these stories today on La Voix paper, which is out as we speak. Quotidien Realite is out every day, of course, and focuses on the General Assembly of ex-students of ENAM in Garwa, that's in the north region of the country. Investigate is out, also headlines with the General Assembly of Lanesenam, which is the Association of Ex-Students of the National School of Administration and Magistracy in Cameroon, with its acronym ENAM. You can read this story today on Investig Info, which is out on the stands as we speak. Direct Info is out today, talks about a spiritual therapy which has been put in place by Imam Sheikh Umar Ibrahim Sheikh Umar Suleiman. Plus, it also headlines with a mystery which has been elucidated. According to Direct Info, the Ciel Foundation, headed by Professor Emmanuel Erume Agom, organized a seminar to explore the problems associated with sexual dreams. You can read these stories today on Direct Info, which I think should be a must-read story for many people who have sexual problems or sexual dreams. You can read the stories today. People Fast is out today, applauds the President Paul Biya, sage and wise mind in the victory obtained by the Port Authority officials in Douala, who were dragged to court by the French companies DIT and Bolloré. You can read the story today on Peel Fast paper, which is out today on the stands as we speak. And it's with that paper that we end this edition of the press review on the CAM1 television. Ladies and gentlemen, see you tomorrow on this particular network.